All right, music fans and fans of the truth, welcome. Harmless me here, talking about real issues in this particular video and doing it real time for a couple of real people out there just like you and just like me. All right, so couple of things. I did one interview with the drummer for Journey's drummer, Dean Castronovo. Please watch that video. It's not often I get to interview A-listers, and Dean is an A-list drummer. So please check that out. I think the interview was fairly entertaining and fun. It was more like a back and forth conversation. And I try to get a few words in. So I try to have a good time with it. And Dean, very low energy guy. So just if you could follow it, please watch it. All right. It's entertaining. Now, as far as this channel goes, there's some things going on with it. I've got to continue to try to make some income. And my income since December 1st has been cut in half. In fact, it's now about 60% lower, about 55% lower than it was on December 1st. And it is January 20th. So it's shocking. It's crazy because I continue to put out content each day, some of which gets some pretty good viewership, but overall struggling again with views with 75,390 or so subscribers. Everyone I talk to says that's insane. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. People aren't getting notifications. It's the videos aren't being recommended to people like they used to be. And it's for maybe the content I'm about to do in this video. Now, quite honestly, the content for this video was inspired by a friend of mine who happens to be a great singer. I would say he's a B-list rock star. He should be an A-list rock star, but anyway, folks, we were kind of going back and forth about the video I had done about the soap opera star, and then someone stepped forward and said, hey, that soap opera guy committed suicide, and I didn't read that for a couple of days. In fact, Fox News said that he had been to CBS a couple of times and just was coincidental. He was 50 years old. Well, this rock star guy sent me this one in response. He didn't think I should have, gone right out of the box on the other guy. But on this one, he said, this one looks suspicious in his words. And he used the initials AF. Okay. I typically don't use that, but that's what he said. So anyway, here it is. Warriors coach, Dejan Milojevic, okay? Let me see if I can get it right. Milojevic dies after suffering heart attack at team dinner. This is in USA Today. It was reported one day ago. I think it happened actually 3 days ago. Let me see if I can say this guy's name correctly. So it's Golden State Warriors assistant coach Dejan Milojevic. He died Wednesday after sustaining a heart attack while at a private team dinner in Salt Lake City Tuesday, according to the Warriors. Dejan was 46 years old. Warriors coach Steve Kerr said, we are absolutely devastated by Dejan's sudden passing. This is a shocking and tragic blow for everyone associated with the Warriors and an incredibly difficult time for his family, friends, and all of us who had the incredible pleasure to work with him. In addition to being a terrific basketball coach, Dejan was one of the most positive and beautiful human beings I have ever known, someone who brought joy and light to every single day with his passion and energy. We grieve with and for his wife, Natasha, and their children, Nikola and Masa. I may be butchering those names. Anyway, he says their loss is unfathomable. Yeah, 100%. The NBA has postponed or had postponed Wednesday's game between the Warriors and the Utah Jazz. Now, what's interesting is, like I said, this came out 3 days ago. I was doing other stories. And again, my friend sent this to me and he said it looked really bad. And he's a skeptic. He's one of those guys that just wants to move on. It's not that he doesn't believe this could be happening, but he's flying above it. He's basically saying, I really don't care that it's happening. I just want to live my life and do the things I want to do. And, the perfect description of a normie would say, can we just get back to doing the things what we like to do and stop worrying about your conspiracy theories? Well, this one caught his attention. The NBA also mourned the sudden passing of the Golden State assistant coach, a beloved colleague and dear friend to so many in the global basketball community. This, according to Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner. In addition to winning the 2022 NBA championship in his first season with the Warriors and mentoring some of the best players in the world, Dejan had a decorated international playing career and was a distinguished head coach in his native Serbia. Our heartfelt condolences go out to his wife and children. And again, that's from the NBA commissioner. So the whole thing just says he had a heart attack, and that's it. Had a heart attack. Did he have anything that happened prior to that? Was he suffering from any kind of heart-related issues? So, I've been down this road a number of times, and I've talked to a number of people on Patreon. Most of them support me because I start talking about this stuff, and others like the music content, and some like both, right? So I don't do this like full time. In other words, I don't look for this stuff. This stuff finds me. I do subscribe to just your regular websites. I'm not looking to dig more of these up so I can preempt all of the music related content. I will say there's not a lot going on in the world of geezer rock other than, Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth, the, 30-year-old feud that apparently was rekindled by Roth recently. And I'm wondering what Hagar is going to say in response. But I do want to direct people to a video I watched yesterday. And I'm going to put the link to this video in the description of this video. Now, the other thing for patrons, I'm also going to just put the link on Patreon. So if you're a patron of this channel, you'll see, the video thumbnail, and you'll be able to click on it and watch it. This was a gentleman who gave testimony in front of a few Massachusetts legislators. He actually went to great lengths to get information. He filed a Freedom of Information request in the state of Massachusetts to see death certificates in the state. And some of the things that he discovered will break your heart. And I'm not saying it proves without a shadow of a doubt what I've been talking about here, but it would, in most cases, open up a Pandora's box. And also, it should start some conversations and hopefully some investigations about what took place in 2021 and 2022 and things that are still happening. Now, again, I can't tie that to what I just was talking about here with this coach, but he's 46 years old, and there's no mention in here of him suffering prior. It was sudden, it was unexpected, it was devastating. Again, when somebody has a long illness and something eventually happens, you're somewhat mentally prepared. But these people were hit like, a blindsided car wreck. Just what? This guy? Obviously, he must have been in fairly good shape for a 46-year-old man. And so this doesn't make a lot of sense. Most of these that I bring forward, they don't make a lot of sense. Sometimes there's an explanation later on. And sometimes they bury the lead, right? They don't tell you certain things, that he had been to CVS a couple of times, that he was up to date on his protocol and so forth. But in this case, there's no mention of anything. And maybe down the road, it will be released that it was something other than what looks to be very suspicious, and people should be alarmed by that. They should just be like, what? Why? But the other issue, and I was talking to some friends of mine recently, where I said to them, it doesn't seem like anybody really cares enough to stop what they're doing and to just look into this. Now, I get it. Like my rock star friend, I get where he's coming from. Like, hey, can we just move on from Trump versus Biden? Can we not talk about politics for 30 seconds? I just want to live my life. I get that. I totally get that. Same with this, although I think this is far more important than politics, because, if humanity is going to just go by the wayside, I think people should have a fighting chance to stop that from happening. That's all. And if we all got the truth all at the same time, which again, this would be the biggest scandal in history, in probably the history of the world, if somebody would step forward who was on the wrong side of this and say, look, yeah, we knew what was going on, but we did it for the greater good. Come out and just say it, right? Even though that isn't for the greater good, that's for demonic purposes. I mean, what person with any kind of conscience, I don't care if your conscience is like just a little bit kind of moved when you hear this information, that's the normal human response. Once we don't get that response, then I think it's time to reset humanity. And what I mean by that is say, look, if you're not in to try to fix the problem, then get out of the way so we can. And if you're not willing to listen to the truth and to the possibility, wait till you hear this guy's testimony. The video I'm going to have, you certainly can't post that video here. Nope. I'm going to link to it. It's on a different platform, and you really need to watch it. You need to watch it. And if it doesn't break your heart, then again, I think we're too far gone. We are, as a group of people, as a race of people, and I'm talking about all races, doesn't matter your background. It is humanity kind of like checking out and thinking it doesn't matter. I've got my little nest egg here. It just leave me alone about this stuff. It doesn't affect me. If it keeps going like this, and it did affect everybody in 2020 and 2021, and some of you just refuse to even consider because you were told, right? And then people come along and say, why would they do this to people if they knew it was bad? Why? Because you got some very ugly, nefarious, and demonic things that are happening out there. And I'm sorry to become, your C-lister conspiracy theorist. This is not a conspiracy. No, this isn't. I mean, it could be behind the scenes that it was planned. This is how we'll do it. And they'll never know because there's just too many people. And we can just pin it on heart disease, right? We can pin it on heart disease. Look at this guy. Did he have heart disease? No mention if he had heart disease. Seemed like a very healthy 46-year-old basketball coach, right? Assistant coach who had a great basketball career in Serbia. And now he's no more. He's left a wife and children. This is a scandal, okay? This is a huge scandal. And again, I want folks to watch the link in the description of this video. It will blow your mind. You don't have to watch, I think, all of it. But the testimony that this guy gives in front of these Massachusetts, I believe they're like state reps or state Senate members. And some of them are just completely like they're just typing on their computer. They're not paying any attention to what he's saying, even though what he's saying, I mean, this is something out of a horror movie, like something that would be predictive programming back in 1997. You know, like Hollywood would come up with this stuff and people would lap it up. They'd watch it, but then they would say to themselves, man, I'm glad that's not happening to us. Yeah, that's just some fictional thing that'll never happen. Or if it does, it'll happen in the year 2100. We don't have to worry about that now. Yeah. Listen to this guy's testimony, and then you'll start to wonder what happened to this coach? What happened to other people? Famous people where, you know, the autopsy, it's natural causes, just natural causes. Things were working and then they just turned off. We just don't know why, but we consider that a natural cause. All right. Well, it's good to see that the medical community is advancing. You know, we're just advancing into the future with so much more knowledge than what we used to have. This is pathetic. All right. And I want to thank people for supporting me and for coming alongside. And again, had somebody step up, almost like a wealthy donor, not like millions of dollars or anything like that, but it was very much unexpected and very generous. I'll just say, I'll call this person Jack, just for the sake of names. And Jack, thank you. You made up about half of what I've lost in the last 2 weeks. So that's how dire the crisis is. He says he's got my back, and hopefully there are a few other people out there that do as well. Look, if I have to migrate to another place to bring you silly music news and things that I like to listen to and stories like this one, and then maybe direct you somewhere else where they have more information, because again, censorship is twofold now. It's outright, no, you can't post this, or hey, you can post this, but we'll never recommend this video to anybody. And that's really very just disappointing in many ways, because humanity doesn't matter what your politics are. Humanity should want to strive to be better and to take care of one another and to do the right thing and to also put a stop to evil that exists. And I'm telling you what, this is pure evil. If this happened and more evidence just piles up and people look the other way, like this woman just typing away on her computer, the guy is talking, yeah, this is just some kooky conspiracy theory. And I got to tell you, it's people who tend to be more on the left side of the spectrum for some reason. The people years ago who used to be suspicious about everything and question authority, all those people now are just with the authority. They are the authority. It's really bizarre, right? And again, I'm not advocating for any political candidate here. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. This is why I'm politically homeless, right? And it's just, I don't trust anybody when it comes to politics. I don't. Don't tell me about your favorite political candidate, because I can basically shoot just about everybody full of holes and tell you this is why this person has issues. This is why they took money from this, organization. There's one guy in particular took $1 million from a pharmaceutical company. He's running for president again. And a lot of people don't know that because they only hear the parts that they want to hear. And then they say, yeah, but that's what they always say to me. Yeah, but I go, yeah, but what? What? He's not going to really do anything if he got $1 million from Pfizer. Yeah. And then there are other guys who might be running who are, very shady in some other areas. So the world of politics right now is a mess. All right. And we need the people to step forward and to do the right thing. As I told my rock star friend, even though I disagree sometimes on his approach, I said, lovingly, I said, I've got your back. All right. I know you're a good guy. I know you're really good at what you do. We may disagree on some of this stuff, or we may agree more than most people. But on this particular issue, I really care that this is going on. And honestly, I'm not trying to throw him under the bus, but I think he cares, but he just wants to do his own thing. And there are so many people out there that just want to just get off the merry-go-round, get off the circus, and just get back to doing life, with their family and their friends and whatever it is that they like to do. So in any event, again, one more time, the most important thing, check out the link in the description of this video for this testimony, which is heartbreaking, groundbreaking, show-stopping, mic dropping. It's everything imaginable. And if that doesn't move you to at least start to rethink this, then I like I've said before, I can't help you. You're kind of on your own. And I've done my part, and I'll continue to do it. When these happen, and there's no explanation, and yeah, it doesn't have to do with music, right? That's what people will say. Well, you should, start another channel. No, I've got 75,000 subscribers. The theme of this channel isn't changing. It changed during 2020 and 2021. It started to change because, rock concerts were being canceled, and you had to have a QR code, and you had to stay 6 feet away from somebody, and then, a couple of people stepped up and they said, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to make people do that. And then those people, of course, became the laughing stocks and the writers at all of your neoliberal music publications are all just, stenographers for the medical industrial complex. Yes, we must obey everything they say because they're the experts. But what if another expert comes along and says, no, don't you take what they say into consideration? No, because it has to be a certain group of approved experts. And again, where are these publications and these media outlets getting their funding from? Pretty simple equation there. All right, so I've rambled enough. Again, the link in the description, most important thing. And Patreon, I'm not expecting any more wealthy donors, but Jack, you rock, brother. Thank you. And God bless everyone. Pray for peace in the Middle East and around the world. And yeah, pray for your fellow human beings that have done this, because I'm pretty certain at this stage, you might be, I don't want to say your life is in jeopardy or anything too hyperbolic, but I do want to say that I would be a little nervous. I would try to undo the thing that I did. Now, I don't know if there's a way to do that, but I hear that there are things that you can do. And if you need research on that, I can probably find you a place that you can get information from. All right, that's it. Done. Music content coming soon. Thanks for watching, and see you then.